This is the plaintiff, Quashana Smith. She says the defendant's been our landlord since 2009, so having to sue her in court is upsetting. But hey, money is money. The woman refuses to return her security deposit. She has no right to keep it, and she's not going to let her steal from her without a fight. She's suing for $1,700, which is her money, and she wants it back. This is the defendant, Dawn. She says the plaintiff recently got into a fight with the upstairs neighbor and abruptly told her she was moving out. The woman had the nerve to ask for her security back when she vacated without giving the required 30 days notice, and she owes her absolutely nothing. She's accused of ticking off a tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for loss of rent.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff lived in the defendant's building for 10 years, so what a betrayal for the landlord to keep her security. But the defendant says the plaintiff got into a fight with the upstairs neighbor and just bailed. It's the case of fight and flight.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Quashana Smith?
Yes.
All right. You've lived in an apartment owned by Dawn for how many years? You had lived?
From April 1st of 2009 until the ending of November 2018.
And at some point, you left that apartment. Why did you leave?
First, we started with the upstairs apartment, which was a bigger apartment.
That's where you first moved in?
That's when I first moved in.
And how much are you paying?
She charged $1,700. That was the amount of rent for her.
Okay.
And that's what she was given.
By you,
me.
Or you had an assistance?
I had a partial assistance, which was called the Work Advantage Program for people who just came home from being incarcerated.
Okay.
So that's what she charged at first.
Okay, and how much of a security deposit did you give her?
I gave her exactly $1,700.
Okay, do you have a receipt for the $1,700?
No.
Now, according to you, the deposit that she gave you was not $1,700.
$1,250.
Let's put a pin in that a second about the amount of the security deposit. Now, all these years pass, and then you end up leaving in what month?
And from upstairs to the first floor?
Oh, you went in between. You moved from upstairs to the bottom floor.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's basically how it became from the $1,250 to the $1,600.
So you moved down, and now it's $1,600. And is the program paying the full $1,600?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we get to November, December of last year. Take me there. All right. What happens?
During the process of me moving, when she asked, as I was there, she sent me a text message stating, all my tenants will be paying $2,000. And if you can't pay, then I believe the program will help you move. I said, okay, let's see what the program said.
This was in the middle of 2018, May sometime.
It was like around April.
Okay.
That's when she sent me a text message.
Okay.
I reached out to my caseworker. The caseworker laughed at me, said, ask her for a lease. I don't think it's going to go because that's illegal.
Why is it illegal?
It was illegal excessive from $1,600 to $2,400.
No, but it's not illegal. It's just that the program won't pay it. It's not illegal. That's her private property. She could charge whatever she wants. She can't change it in the middle of a lease. She can't, but I think what your social caseworker was trying to say is, it's too big a jump. The program won't accept it. That's fine, but then you go find yourself somewhere else to live because that's her property. It's not illegal. So you decide to leave, and when do you let her know that you're leaving?
This is what happened. I contacted her beforehand, like when I first found the place, and was letting her know that I would get help and be out faster, but they wanted me to call 311 on her, which I was refusing to do. I asked her.
And why call 311?
Because
that's the complaint line in New York.
The ceiling had leaked, and it was a hole in the kid's bathroom. Then there was a beehive in my bedroom.
There was a beehive in your bedroom?
Yeah, I also have videos of everything. I have the video.
You have videos of the beehive?
Mm-hmm, inside the vent.
That's what I want to see. Hold on.
This is what we had to do. So she can't say we damaged this, but we had to cover it because it's a beehive inside.
This was a vent?
So this is where you put your AC.
Where you put your AC, but there was no AC in there.
The AC still there? I couldn't do nothing. There's a beehive in there. I had to leave the AC in there. When I contacted her, she said that's not her problem. Naya, can you hold this camera?
How do you figure that's not your problem?
I never know nothing about no
Hold it
beehive.
in.
Q is telling the story.
Oh, yeah, it's still there. See it? Did you got it? You see it? You see the beehive?
Is that a beehive? Is that a wasp hive?
Yes, the mother. Beehive in the vent. Told the landlord about it. She never came.
All right, so your caseworker says call 311 on her because that'll help you get more money for moving, for relocating. I
Basically,
guess.
they would help me.
Yeah.
And then the bathroom ceiling had leaked in June from the neighbors. I guess they flooded the toilet, which wasn't the first time. But that time
You had
was
a bad relationship with the neighbors upstairs.
Oh, yes. Because he told his kids to say to my kids, they would stand in front of the gate, say goodbye to the monkeys. That was, one thing that Dawn knows about me, say whatever you want to say. When it comes down to my kids,
Okay.
no way.
And that had happened when?
That happened,
Months before you moved.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
months before.
All right, so when you moved, I want to know when you told Dawn that you were moving.
It was just about before the Thanksgiving holidays.
Okay. Now, is it your position that she's on a month-to-month,
No.
or is it your position that she's in the middle of a lease?
She's in the middle of a lease.
Okay, do you have any proof of that? Can I see it?
Yes.
That's all I need. Take a look at that, sweetheart. Is that your signature?
Yes, this is the lease that she submitted to the program. Program rejected it.
No. Okay, but you need to understand something. One thing is, can you get your needs met by the program that you've applied to? Another thing is what you obligate yourself to pay by signing a lease.
No,
No,
but
no,
this is
no,
not
no.
for me.
I need you to listen, not talk right now. When you sign a lease, you're obligated based on signing a lease. But you know what? It's not even that important because the bottom line is you still didn't leave in November. You were still there in December, weren't you?
No, I was out of there in November. If I got the text message when I gave.
Do you have the actual walkthrough on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see that a second. Why haven't you re-rented the place? According to you, you're suing you're counterclaiming her for $5,000 because you want all the rent from the rest of this contract
But then
paid to
you go
you.
here.
Now, why wouldn't you have re-rented it? What efforts have you made to
Oh,
re-rent?
I've been showing the apartment. I've been showing it since she been gone.
Show me how you advertised it. Did you
Well,
advertise
I
it?
gave it to a
Okay,
renter.
because here's a last sentence in your answer to the complaint. I haven't been about to rent out the apartment because I've had some stuff going on. That's a you problem. That's not a. All right,
Stuff going
this is
on.
the. Okay, you took the video on December 3rd, 2018.
Yes, the
I
same-
just checked the metadata.
Yes.
And I have a text that you submitted where you're telling your caseworker you should be out of there by Saturday. Saturday was December 1st. So even if this lease didn't exist, stop and listen.
So who abuses who more, landlords or tenants?
Landlords,
Why do you say?
because they do.
Oh, okay.
I did not hear the question, sorry.
Huh? Who abuses who more? Do landlords abuse tenants more or tenants abuse landlords?
I believe landlords.
Because?
They have more power and authority over the tenants.
That is true. What do you say?
Yeah, landlords.
Why?
Definitely. Oh, they keep the buildings slummy and they do all kinds of things and they make people pay extra rent, and extra fees.
All landlords have slummy places?
A lot of them.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
Even if this lease didn't exist, even if you were on a month-to-month, you'd still owe the month you had a minute of. In other words, once you're still there, a minute in December, you owe December. That's the law. Now I know, because I see you, that in fact your metadata says that you took this video on December 3rd, that you still weren't out of there on Saturday. It wasn't until Monday that you were taking this video.
No, I have the text message that I sent on that same day that I gave her son the keys. That's why I did the video.
If you're there in
Dawn.
December, you owe December. And by the way, you signed a lease, so you owe December anyway. In fact, the issue now is do you owe January, February, March, okay? Because you signed a lease, and there are consequences to signing a lease. Now, on the issue of the security deposit, she admits to $1,250. Do you have your first lease? Because the info would be in there. Did you go to your caseworker and say, get me the lease from the back then? Because the info might be in there.
Yes, I did. They told me it would, because it's so far back, they had to go through central office, it would take time.
Did they say how much time it would take?
They told me about 2 weeks for it to come from central office.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my judgment now, but I'm going to hold my judgment in abeyance for 2 weeks to come, for 3 weeks to come from central office so that we can get some definitive proof of what the security deposit was. Right now, I'm going to rule that it's $1,250 with the understanding that you may end up submitting something that proves that to be wrong and that it was more than that, all right? But when you come in here and you say, I haven't been able to rent it in 6 months because I was going through some stuff.
The only thing I was doing was fixing up the apartment.
Okay, but so here's the deal. What you would be entitled to anyway, whether to me, is at least a month to be able to rent it out. So if December is $1,600 and the security deposit is $1,250, she owes you $350. She may owe you less than that if she's able to prove to me that the security deposit was more. As for the other money that you are suing her for loss of rent for the 4 months, every defendant in every case, in a landlord-tenant case, every landlord has the obligation to mitigate their damages. That means that they have to hustle and try to cover the damages. If you didn't, then it's kind of on you. So what I'm going to rule on her claim against you, 0, because I find that she's obligated to you for December, and on your claim against her, $350, but I'm going to hold that for 3 weeks to be able to try to get the proof of what the security deposit actually was. Good luck to both of you, ladies.
Well, the plaintiff has failed in her attempt to get $1,700 back of her security deposit. You know, the picture on your phone didn't help you any. You understand that?
I understand that, but she knows that I gave her $1,700, and for her to be a woman of God and stand there and lie, it's not right. But it is what it is. The judge made her ruling.
You're going to go try and get that original
Oh, no, I
lease?
definitely will.
The original? Mm-hmm. She's giving you 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Good luck to you. All right, Miss Dawn. Or Dawn. Miss Dawn.
Hi.
What do you think? How do you feel about the outcome?
It's whatever.
I think you learned something about being a landlord, about not having to.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
funny. I thought I had at least that, but
No. All right. Well, good luck to you. Okay.
All
We'll
right,
see what
thank
happens.
you.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, the plaintiff did not prove that the security deposit was more than $1,700, so the defendant ended up getting $350.